Voyage into Florida fishing, presented by Hubbard's Marina, hosted by Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
Good morning, Tampa Bay, 970 WFLA. Talking fishing, going to be here until 8 o'clock. Unfortunately, only until 8 o'clock. D-Hub's back in the house after a little vacay. Good to see you, my brother.
Definitely nice to be back.
There
it is. There you are. Definitely nice to be back in studio hanging out with you, man.
Yeah, dude. Good to see you. Good to see you. A little weird last week. Big shout out to Kelly Phillips of Bull Bay Rods for sitting in with me last week, keeping us rolling. We got the Magnificent, Chris the Magnificent. That's what we're going to call him. Chris Mathis.
We've got that figured out already.
Chris Magnificent. Yeah, you know how I am. Nicknames just, you have to have a
yeah,
nickname.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
glad to be here with you guys.
Yeah, good to have you, dude. Good to see you this morning. What does your shirt say?
Habersham Basketball.
Habersham Basketball.
Yep, that's right. Habersham Basketball.
Is Habersham a town?
It's actually a county in North Georgia. Yeah,
Okay.
back when I used to work at a radio station up there. So,
where are you from?
It's a whole county.
Habersham County.
yeah, Habersham County.
I like it. Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds
cool.
like
Pretty small town.
Sounds like a Dukes of Hazzard.
It does.
thing.
It does.
Yeah.
Is that where the Dukes of Hazzard was filmed, possibly? Do we know?
I don't think it was, but there were a couple of movies up there similar to that along those lines that were filmed out there.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's out in the boonies. I'll say that for sure.
The boonies.
100%.
Listen, I love the state of Georgia.
Yeah, probably good hunting. I'm going to assume that.
Great hunting. I love the state of Georgia. I love the state of Georgia. Heck, the Green Bay Packers apparently do too. Their 2 first-round picks both came from Georgia.
Yeah, they're going to be solid too.
Yeah,
I like both those picks.
I did too. I was very and last year's first-round pick, Stokes, came from Georgia, so we're covered in that. My youngest daughter's name is Georgia, so yeah.
I'm sensing a trend.
I like Georgia. Yeah. It could be a home sweet home here for too long. You never know. You just move right in there and call it an event.
They'll accept you, I'm sure.
I'll do this by, I don't know, we'll call in. It's all good. Lots to talk about this week. You know what I saw early this week?
No telling.
Early this week. The one bug on the planet that gets me excited. Love bugs. I hate the fact that...
no, love bugs mean tarpon are here, right?
That's exactly what that means. That's why it's the one bug that gets me excited. Yeah. I mean, I'm not happy that the front of my truck will be covered in them in just merely weeks and for the next 2 months.
I spend probably an hour a day dealing with those lug bugs. On the last 39 hour, oh my goodness, this past weekend, prior to the boat leaving, we started getting the boat ready at like 1 o'clock. It came in from a half day. From 1 o'clock in the afternoon till 3 o'clock when that 39 hour departed, the deck, the gray painted deck turned black.
Yeah.
There was love bugs. It was so disgusting. Yeah. I came on the boat right before it left. I was like, oh my goodness, what happened? They're like, dude, we just scrubbed it. I don't know. It was nuts how many love bugs are around.
I've had that many, many times, especially early tarpon season when you're out there, that white fiberglass.
I couldn't imagine trying to get them off that white fiberglass, especially in those like non-skids areas.
Yeah, you just got to scrub them. Scrub them, get them off there fresh.
Yeah. Hot water and
the bad part is
pressure washer.
When it gets warm out and they're just everywhere because they literally concentrate. When you get over the water, they find that white piece of fiberglass and they just concentrate right there.
Yeah, and it's not like they bite, but it's just annoying.
It is. It's annoying.
When they're all over you.
It's really annoying when it's all over your truck or all over the tower, your tower box as you're traveling to your next shoot.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't really care if they're on my boat, but when they're on the truck, that's when a line has been crossed.
Right. Nice. Very cool. Very cool. But that is what that means. It seems to be, for all the years I've been tarpon fishing here in Florida, that when the love bugs get here, the tarpon are here. And it was interesting because I saw the first one. I called my boy who fishes down towards Longboat, Anna Maria a lot, and I said, dude, they got to be on the beach. And he said, it's funny you mentioned that. I heard yesterday that some fish showed up on the beach. I'm like, yep. They've been at the bridge. You know, we've had our resident fish and good numbers of them. That bite's been okay for, a couple of weeks already, maybe a month. But once you start to see the love bugs, that usually means they're on the beach. Now, of course, we got this weather coming in. We got some west wind. That could slow that process down a little bit. But
because they put their noses in the wind, right?
Always, yeah. Yeah, most fish do. A lot of fish put their nose into the wind.
Kingfish have been doing that all spring, it seems like.
Yeah. I don't, we use the wind at least I do, you use a wind as a gauge for that. Redfish put their nose into the wind. I don't know that it's the wind as much as the water clarity. I think the dirty water. I think a lot of our fish here on the west coast of Florida, because they're so used to clean water, that I don't think they like dirty water. Sharks for sure.
Our fish are used to clean water?
Tarpon.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Well, I'm not talking about toxic water. I'm talking about water they can see in. Yes.
It has been super clear, and I agree. I was talking to someone about the tarpon just yesterday. Our bait team who catches all the pinfish and past crabs and all that. I'm like, dude, where are the past crabs at? Like, we got a ton of them, I think, 2 weeks ago, and they were really slow moving. And he was like, dude, people aren't using past crabs. We have a bunch of people that want past crabs when the crab bite goes off. But he said all the tarpon have been really fixated on dead bait. At least that's what he's hearing from the different people that are normally buying crabs from him, and is that they're all using dead bait right now. Well, but you wouldn't use dead bait for them on the beach. That's bridge fishing them, right?
No, you can use dead bait on the beach too.
Just sit it right on the bottom.
Tarpon are a scavenger. I mean, that's really what they are. They'll just eat just about anything. If it's dead and stinky and laying in front of them and they're hungry, they will eat it. So, I think
opportunistic.
Yes, and what you have to do is in the couple of times that I haven't spent any time at the bridge, but a couple of times that I've run past the bridge, running from O'Neill's to the South Shore, or whatever. The one thing that you can see is you see the pelicans diving. So they're definitely focused on thread fins.
I gotcha.
So if and it's usually what it is. Right now it's going to be thread fins, in my opinion. You always catch them on dead shad and, dead catfish and all that kind of stuff,
Whoa. Dead catfish? That's a thing?
According to some guys, and I've never done it, if you catch a couple of big, not sail cats, but regular.
Hardheads?
Yep, hardhead catfish. Cut them open, throw them on a thing, and let them sit on the bottom. They will gobble them up.
What?
Gobble them up.
I have literally never heard that. That's interesting.
Yeah. That came from Glenn Taylor.
Huh.
Yeah, old sneaky Captain Glenn Taylor, one of the best on the West Coast for sure.
I believe it.
Yeah, I do too. I wouldn't have believed it probably, but Glenn said it, so therefore I believe it. But yeah, he says, cat. That's how he catches. Like if you get into some of these, you'll have a back bay, like a residential canal may open up into this little harbor, in the back somewhere.
Sounds like you're talking about somewhere specific.
I am. In my brain I am, but I'm not giving it away. But there's a lot of areas like that, little harbors that the little or smaller tarpon will get into, a lot of resident fish. He claims if you go in there, put a big old egg, say like a grouper rig, so you got a weight up 3 feet from your hook or whatever, and just pitch it out with a dead catfish on the bottom. He's like, it won't be there 10 minutes.
Are you trimming the spines?
I don't have any. I haven't done it. I would assume you'd trim the spines just because you don't want to mess with them.
Yeah.
So I would think you would trim it, and I don't think it matters because I think the stink of the catfish is in the catfish. It doesn't have anything to do with the, Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with the stingers. But yeah,
I've heard the same thing for amberjack
big
offshore.
chunks of ladyfish. Really?
Yeah. And I've tried it one time, and I was like, this is stupid. I'm never doing it again. Because every time I went to dig in my live well, the spines got all tangled in a bait net.
Yeah.
So it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
And it didn't work too well for me.
I get that. I don't know why that would be.
And then people are like, oh, you can trim the spines. But if you trim the spines, there's always like a little bit of a stump, and they're sharper now because now you've broken it off. Oh. It's like breaking a stick. All of a sudden, now you have some sharp edges.
Jagged edge, yeah.
Yeah. Huh. So I don't have good experiences with catfish as bait.
That's my whole problem with it. I understand that it probably works real good because they're, like I said, a scavenger, big old garbage mouth on them. But, I don't really want to play with the catfish. That doesn't sound all that much fun. Don't you want to eat something else? It's like eating a bad rotten egg or something.
It's like eating at Waffle House.
Whatever.
Why would you do that?
Because it's good. Chris, you like Waffle House?
I do like Waffle House.
Yes!
I like the...
We're going to have to get a new
hash brown bowl?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's awesome. Yeah,
Chris
go to chocolate chip waffles.
Who invited you?
Man. Hey, I'm just here. I just showed up, Yeah, I'm just here.
Waffle House. I didn't even bring it up this time. I didn't bring it up. I didn't bring it up. It might have been
besides tarpon
subliminal message on my shirt. But
no, it just when you were talking about garbage food, it just kind of popped in there. But
there you go.
besides tarpon, I mean, I've seen a lot of the mangrove snapper showing back up. Water's starting to warm up.
Dude, the mangrove snapper bite's been ridiculous.
Crazy
Good. Like
nice.
17, 18-inch fish at the Skyway Bridge.
What?
Yes.
Already.
Wow.
All right.
Big mangrove snapper. Guys
Even better than I thought it was.
Guys are getting quick limits at the Skyway Pier already.
Wow.
That's what I said. I'm like, you're doing what? Like a couple of guys, I'm like, what are you doing? They're like, well, we're waiting for the tide. Tide's a little slow right now, so we're getting.
We got to work with the state and get this this bag limit lowered. When I hear that, it's a great thing, and I jokingly say what I just said about the bag limit, but it worries me when we hammer on those mangrove snapper in the bay so hard because that's the estuary. That's where these fish are breeding, and then they get offshore and they get hammered even more. But it's a miracle with those mangrove snapper. No matter how hard we beat on them, it just seems like they proliferate. The last 5 years, it seems like every year it's gotten better and better and better. And every year, more and more people are talking about how they're hammering them and catching bag limits and mangroves.
I mean, you only have a limited number of go-to fish if you're
It's like that with even during that hard red tide, that big fish kill. Everybody's like, oh, I can't catch and keep snook, redfish, trout, so I'm going to go run a trip for mangroves there. It's a great eating fish for the clients. And everybody was talking about that, and I feel like everybody's fixated on it now, and it hasn't changed or stopped. But luckily, we haven't seen any long-term downtrends, but definitely scary for me.
So we've got a little technical difficulty here this morning, although I am seeing the calls on the call screen. But we have – let's go to the phones here. Let's go to Glenn. Let's check in here and see how this is working this morning. Glenn, how are you this morning?
Good morning, Mike and Dylan. Hey, listen, I was listening to y'all talking about love bugs and all that.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried Bounce?
The
laundry.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Dryer sheets, yeah, right? Now that's what to get them off your.
Wet everything down first and get them off as much as you can. Wet your vehicle down, and then wet your Bounce, and just rub over it. It'll come right off.
Nice.
It doesn't. It seems like a dryer sheet would scratch your paint.
Does that make your vehicle?
No, it's made with animal fat.
Really? Does that make your truck smell good then too?
One good thing for Dylan. Hey, why don't you go to Waffle House? It's pretty good food.
There you go. Glenn, you're a good man. That's a great first call, buddy. I appreciate you. We got a tip, and we got some love for the house. I love it. Good call, Glenn. Thanks for listening, buddy.
It's not that. It's not that I mean, I like breakfast food, but I would choose any other restaurant before Waffle House. That's the thing. Is I'm going to go to the mom and pop hole in the wall place.
I love those places too.
When you're walking in, you're unsure if you're going to get food poisoning or someone's going to, the restaurant's going to close while you're there. Those are the kind of places I like.
Waffle House never closes. It never closes. It's open 24 hours a day.
That's the problem. It's never cleaned.
It's always cleaned.
No.
Stop it.
It's disgusting.
I don't know, Chris Mathis. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do with this guy.
We got a lot to talk about this morning.
We do have a lot to talk about, and it's so good. Again, we kind of put the band back together this morning. D-Hub's back in the house after a little vacay. It's usually me missing all the time, and Dylan's always here, but he finally got a vacation.
I'm learning from you.
I don't blame you. It's all good. Makes for good radio. You come back refreshed. So it's all good stuff. So phone lines are open, 1-800-969-9352. Again, Chris Mathis's voice will be the first one you hear when you light those phone lines up. Bring your questions, comments, fishing reports right here. We'll be back, 970 WFLA. Having trouble.
Tim McCardle, good morning, buddy. Asking about the Bull Bay rods. Yeah, you can get a 10% discount if you have a trip booked or if you book a trip while you're there. So stop by the shop and tell them about your trip you have coming up. You can get 10% off those Bull Bay rods. And we have all three of our conventional rods in stock of the Hubbard's Marina Bull Bay rods. And we've got, I think, only one of the spinning reels in stock. Can you turn down the monitor a little bit?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No worries. So, got a little, quite a bit of the conventional rods in stock, though. The dark green, the light green, the reds. So, let's see what other questions do we have on Facebook. Osiris Sanchez said, "Do you have a good breakfast story from a fishing event?"
I saw that. I wonder what he means by that. Like, what do you mean?
Good breakfast story from a fishing event. Like, did you drop? Actually, I have a good breakfast story from a recent fishing trip. So we're out there on the Flying Hub 2, 80 miles offshore, doing our slow pitch jigging trip. And these guys, this father and son that fish with us, the father was in the military. They have a military background. They're very fit dudes. Like, he's maybe in his mid to late 50s. I would say probably maybe early 50s. But this dude could run laps around anybody that I know.
Really?
He's freaking jacked. And his son is about my age, and he caught 2 like 8-9 foot sharks back to back on the last trip with a slow pitch jigging rod, which is impressive in and of itself. But then 2 sharks back to back, handled it with ease. Long story short, super fit. They're talking about this diet they're on, and he whips out this box. I'm like, "What's this?" He was like, "Oh, can you plug this in the USB drive for me?" I'm like, "All right, what is it?" He was like, "Yeah, just plug it in for me." It starts warming up. It's literally a box that warmed up or can actually cook food, and it pulls just like a normal USB charger would for your phone.
Really?
And like an hour later, he opens it up, cracks it open, and it's bacon and eggs. Yeah, hot bacon and eggs on a center console charter boat 80 miles offshore. I was like, standing next to him, fishing next to him, watching him eat hot bacon and eggs. I was like, this is torture.
But now, hold on a minute. Don't you guys do breakfast sandwiches on your boat?
On the party boats? On the party boats, we have a flat grill, and you get fresh breakfast sandwiches.
It's a great breakfast sandwich. Yeah.
But on the Flying Hub 2, the center console charter boat for 16 passengers, there's no hot breakfast.
Wow.
Unless you're that guy. So that was a good breakfast story.
I want to be that guy.
Yeah.
That is a good breakfast story.
I ate cold beef jerky. I watched him eat bacon and eggs.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a good breakfast story. I think breakfast is important. I think it is very important. I love to eat my breakfast.
I think every meal is important.
I do. I really like breakfast, though. I like breakfast.
Yeah, breakfast is awesome.
You gotta have
some big omelet. I like.
I love omelets.
I was hitting up that Grand Sabana Peruvian food truck on my way home from the studio, but now I'm on Mama's Kitchen in Seminole, off Seminole Boulevard. Hole in the wall, or it was a hole in the wall. Now it's not so much. Now it's like an institution in Seminole. But it's a family-owned and operated restaurant. They do a killer breakfast.
There's one right here on Himes that used to be called Potbellies, and it was really a hole in the wall. And I think the 2 owners had a falling out, and now it's called like breakfast on Himes or something. It's excellent. Beth and I stopped in there. It's all remodeled, beautiful inside, and it's awesome.
Dang.
Yeah, awesome. Welcome back. Putting a quick shout out to our good friends at Affordable Roofing Systems. You know, it only takes a morning like this to make you think, boy, I am glad that my roof is not in need of a repair or a replacement. But if yours is, let our good friends at Affordable Roofing Systems, with 3 decades of experience in roofing knowledge, guide you through this important process. Again, they know that your roof protects most, if not everything, that you own. They're the safest choice for repairs or replacements. If you're looking for a free estimate, you can give them a call today at 1-888-397-ROOF, or look them up online at affordableroofingflorida.com. Affordable Roofing Systems, roofers you can trust. Let's go to the phones here, check in with the beautiful Florida Keys. Let's check in with Capt. Mike. Michael, how are you?
Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Dylan. How y'all doing this morning?
Morning.
We're good. I'd be doing a little better if the Bolts would have won. That would have helped.
Yeah.
I'm a little bummed this morning about that.
I watch it I watched the game until it became 4-2, and then it got clicked off real fast. So,
Yeah,
which was right near the end.
Painful.
But I believe Dylan's kind of excited today. All the sequelizers, all the release devices have started going out to all the fishermen across Florida.
Nice. Yes, definitely excited about the Return 'em Right program launching Gulf-wide for all anglers, including private recreational anglers, starting May 3rd. So if you go to Return Right. So returnemright.com or .org, excuse me. And you can go to that website, take a short, like 10, 15-minute little course, which talks about barotrauma and mitigating barotrauma and improving discard mortality and lowering it while offshore fishing. They send you over $100 in free stuff. And all that is funded by some of that BP oil spill money.
Good.
So this is $30 million program that they're rolling out to give away over $100 in free stuff to anybody who goes to that website and takes that short course.
I need to do that.
It's awesome.
I know. I need to get my
Absolutely.
own,
And to my surprise, it comes with a 3-pound lead on it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I didn't know it was going to come with the lead on it. So be very careful when you pick them up off your porch if they've been delivered and you're in flip-flops. You drop that on your foot, you'll be singing a different tune.
Right.
Yeah, it's a 3-pound weight. They were going to do a 2-pound weight, and I was like, dude, 2 pounds is not enough. You got to bump that up to 3 pounds because you get a pretty decent size, like red snapper, gag grouper. It takes a lot of weight to send them down, sometimes even more than 3 pounds. I was trying to push them up to 5 pounds, but they're like, no.
It's a lot of money in shipping just alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, Mike. You got to think about just not the equipment, and it is a very nice. Well, he had the one at Bartow Ford, but it's all the best part about it. It's rigged up. It's ready. You tie it. Get yourself an independent rod. You know, Dylan can make the suggestion on what kind of poundage line. I spooled up an old Penn Senator on an older rod, and I went ahead and did 80-pound line, and you don't want to lose that thing just in case. Check your knots real good and send them on down. And it's a great program. And when you get it, you'll understand looking at it and working with it, with the technology that went into that piece of equipment.
It's really impressive. And that's the big thing is just being prepared while you're offshore. Now it's a law through the Descend Act that went into effect January 13th of this year. You must have either a venting tool or a descending device rigged and ready while offshore fishing in federal waters for reef fish. So if you're out there fishing for grouper and snapper, you have to have a venting tool or a descending device rigged and ready. So super important to become prepared.
Cap Mike, I'm up against the clock. I'm up against the clock here, brother. Let everybody know how they can get a hold of you down there in the beautiful Florida Keys.
Yep, it's 813-434-8086, CaptainMichael47gmail.com, or simply give Mike Anderson a call at 1-866-GAMEFISH. He will shoot you my number. He has sent me plenty of wonderful clients, not only to me, and I've had some spillover clients to other guys down here, so we'll always get you on the water.
Good job,
brother.
Have
a great day, guys, in the Tampa Bay area. We're going to have a good day out on the water today here in the Florida Keys.
Good luck. Stay safe, Cap. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Thanks for bringing it up.
Real quick, I thought we were going away from venting tools.
We can talk about that more on the other side.
We do need to. We're gonna.
There's a really good reason why.
In the radio business, that's a tease. We're going to talk about venting tools
on the next segment. Don't touch that dial.
We'll be back on 70 WFLA.
News, traffic, and weather. Top and bottom of every hour.
News Radio WFLA, an iHeart radio station.
Weekends, you get the clowns. That's what we're here for.
Comedic relief.
No, man. You guys are awesome.
You'll touch base on your show about a beginner fisherman, like different places to go, different topics for the beginning fisherman down here in Florida. I appreciate it, Mike. Thank you so much. I enjoy the show and learn a lot.
Did you silence your phone?
Touch base with that would be great. Thank you so much. What?
Did you silence your phone?
No, I did not. You heard it quack, didn't you?
Yeah.
Sheriff Staley has increased the reward for the killers to $15,000. The NTSB has released a preliminary report on the glider that crashed last month.
This red tide status thing keeps freaking me the heck out.
What now?
Nothing yet. But I did see some background levels in Tampa Bay. now it's back away. But started seeing those green squiggly lines. I was like,
I wonder if that comes with
right
that.
now it's south of Port Charlotte. There's a green squiggle.
I wonder if that comes with that rain.
The last time I saw it was about a week and a half ago. But I guess, yeah, you're right. That was on the backside of some rain.
I'm just curious.
Well, it's food presence of the algae, and salinity. Those are the three factors that all have to be right for it to bloom. Yeah. Well, for it to proliferate, because it's always around, but for it to get to a critical mass and bloom, it has to have those three ingredients.
Winds will stay gusty even outside of any rain throughout the day today at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. And temperatures will be warm and it will feel muggy. We could see a few isolated showers overnight, but will be much drier and less humid.
No offense, lady, but you married Johnny Depp.
There is a small craft advisory.
Okay.
Dude, Amber Heard was, I thought, one of my actress crushes.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
What?
She's crazy.
Is she?
I don't know this whole thing. It's scary.
Johnny Depp is crazy.
Yeah, Johnny Depp is crazy too. I think once you make that much money and you start I don't know, it never seems to go well.
I mean, dude,
And it stinks because they're going through something really difficult in their personal lives, and their divorce trial is on live national news.
there's a lot of people that have made a lot of money that don't end up whack jobs.
Yeah,
A lot of people.
that's true.
You can control your whack job. Ridiculous, Clint Eastwood. There's a lot of guys been doing shit for years and years and years, man. A ton of money. You don't hear nothing about them.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. You don't hear nothing about them because they're not whack jobs.
Mm-hmm. And then you have people like LeBron James. Whack job.
Whack job. Total whack job.
That's why we are so particular about the pre-owned vehicles we'll sell to our customers. If the Bartow name is on the back,
We were watching a commercial, and I guess he's on a new Hummer commercial.
Yeah.
My wife's like, LeBron James, is he even still playing? Who cares about him anymore? It's like, you're ruthless.
God bless her.
Yeah, it's crazy that the Lakers didn't even make the tournament. That's nuts. Sad.
I think it shows you just can't keep buying it.
Yeah. Well, he's been doing that his whole career.
Yeah.
Went to the Heat, did it down there, went back to Cleveland, tried to do it there, then went to LA. Now he's trying to make it happen there, but we all saw how that went.
Yep.
Dude, when is the National Hurricane Center going to recognize my blob? Been watching it for 4 or 5 days. Nope, still nothing.
Do they not know who you are?
I don't know. We're going to have to call them. Oops. Oh, that's good. It changed a little bit this morning.
That you know.
What?
Ron at Ron's Taco Box.
Ooh, Ron. I wonder what the hot lure was this week.
Booyah.
Royalty
purple. Booyah. He sells a lot of them.
Dude, this is crazy. So it's what? May 15th. So basically May 9th through the 15th, this thing sits off the east coast of Florida from Jacksonville to North Carolina and bounces back and forth. Blob. It could be something tropical. Just hangs there forever. Doesn't go away until the next front pushes it away. I love this time of year. The real weather nerd comes out.
Pretty cool as into it as you are. That's pretty cool.
It's fun. I like it. Any captains, whack jobs that you know?
Put that fucking dog on that dude in the water. Getting bit by a dog in the water. Wow.
Not even getting bit by a dog. One swimming up on you is enough. Pawing the crap out of you.
Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Welcome back. 636 here at the iHeart Media Empire. The Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show. Captain Mike Anderson here. Captain D. Hubs in the house. We got lots of stuff to talk about. We got a new cobia rule, all kinds of things going on here. But first, a quick programming note. June 21st, that's a Tuesday, we're going to be back at Bartow Ford for the Bartow Ford Real Animals Fishing Conversation, 6 to 8 p.m. Our good friend Dana over at Silver Ring Cafe will be serving up some Cubans and stuffed potatoes and devil crab again. Our guest, Bobby Lane. Whoa. It's going to be a good one. He of the recent big Red Crest Cup win on the Major League Fishing Tour. A huge accomplishment, and super stoked for our good friend Bobby. Looking forward to talking some fishing with him. You don't want to miss that one, and that one you should try to get there early. Again, we're doing 6 to 8 now. We've always done 7 to 9 in the past. We moved it up 6 to 8, and we had a lot of people there for the last one with D. Hubs and Mr. Mahoney, but I think this one's even probably going to be a little more packed with Bobby Lane being Bobby Lane, who he is out there in his hometown, so his home area, his home county. It's going to be a little crazy. So
And they have devil crab.
There's devil crab.
Don't forget that.
Circling back to the Silver Ring Cafe devil crab. Stuffed potato as well. Have you ever been to Silver Ring Cafe there, Chris Mathis?
No, I've not, but the way you guys talk about it, I got to check that place out for sure.
Yeah, if you're ever in the Riverview area on 301 there, you need to stop in it.
Well, now he's working with the Pat and Aaron show, so this guy probably could teach us about food.
Well,
yeah, Pat, he does have
he's got
great taste, man. He goes everywhere.
Chris, how long have you been working with the studio?
I've been here since February 19th.
Yeah, and Pat already got him as a judge for a hamburger competition, cheeseburger competition.
Twice? You've done it?
Yeah.
Stop. That's even worse.
I want you to mention it to him this week, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that.
No,
Next time,
mention this to him. Tell him that
you better bring us.
Captain Mike Anderson
and
Pat Donovan, you're not involved in this, and Pat Donovan have been friends for a long time. Okay? Like 15 years.
Chris is replaced
already. Not one time have I been invited to be a judge.
Man, okay.
Eating some burgers.
I'll talk to him.
He's
just
on my
for you.
list. He's on my list.
Just for you.
He's lucky tomorrow's Mother's Day. That's all I can say. Wow, that's brutal. Anyway, back on track. Out of the rabbit hole.
Something with cobia?
That too. June 21st. Put it in your books. We're going to be out there at Bartow Ford. Bobby Lane coming to hang out with us. Let's go to the phones here quick before we jump on cobia and redfish and all the stuff we got to talk about. Let's get our freshwater report from our freshwater guru out in beautiful Lake Alfred, Florida. Ronnie at Ron's Tackle Box. Ronnie, how are you, buddy?
Doing great this morning.
All right,
Looks
buddy.
like the rain is letting up, and should be a great day out here.
Good.
Lots of moving water.
Forecast, they said it's about over.
Okay. Well,
That'll
help.
We need it.
Yeah.
Need that running water. Well, when we get that running water, we do real well. There's a lot of inlets, the canals that a lot of moving water, and it produces the fish.
Nice.
It's really good.
Nice.
So right now, this last week, a lot of big bluegill in the surrounding lakes. Shellcracker bites good. Bass fishing's picking up real well. It kind of comes and goes, but we had a good week this week. Nothing over 8 pounds that I've seen, but a lot of 5-6 pound fish.
It's still a big one.
Nothing wrong. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. That's crazy.
Good sign of what's to come. We got hot there a couple of days this week, but water temperature, I don't know what it is, but it's still cooler than the air, so that helps a lot. But active, a lot of activity going on. Fish-wise, come out. You can fish on the fishing piers. Plenty of boat ramp area here. They put in many different lakes. There's no big crowds. It's a great place.
No doubt about it.
We put in these boat ramps, and people say, "Oh, it's going to bring a lot of traffic." Well, there's so many lakes here. There's no traffic.
Right.
It's spread out. You might see one guy out on the lake. It's great.
554 lakes.
Yeah.
554 of them. You got to love it. Let me ask you a question. So the Red Crest Cup that our good friend Bobby Lane just won?
Yes.
That's pretty substantial. That's a big event.
Oh, it's amazing.
That's crazy, right? I mean,
it's
that's like the new Bassmaster Classic. I mean, it's the
absolutely
right. I mean, it's the so his brother Chris has a Bassmaster Classic, and Bobby Lane now has a Red Crest Cup. That's pretty cool.
Yes,
that's a great for one.
Them guys, well deserved, worked hard all their life fishing.
Yeah,
I mean, I witnessed it when I ran tournaments 20 years ago. They were fishing my tournaments and just having a good time.
You know how great that would be to have that on your resume? Like
it's pretty bad as well.
What is this line 7? Line 7 had butt kicked by Bobby and Chris Lane several times. I mean, seriously, you know, on your tournament resume, you know, that's like me and the Watts brothers. Brian and Greg Watts kicked my butt several times, but I did beat them twice in the 10 years I was doing it. That's great. That's great.
There you go.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah, that's line 7 on my resume. Yeah, that's cool. I can't wait to hang out with him. What?
Oh, they're great people. You know that.
Yeah,
a lot of people that don't know them.
Bobby is just
they're
phenomenal.
Real good people, good competition.
Bobby's
good attitude.
Bobby's
always.
Kids Cup, the Bobby Lane Kids Cup that he puts on out there at Camp Mac in December is incredible. It's incredible. Like
Absolutely.
I'm very, very proud of the Real Animals Junior Pro staff. I really am. Something that I thought up, and we've got these great group of kids, and and you get out there to this Bobby Lane Kids Cup, dude, and there's like hundreds of kids.
Well,
like,
we're saltwater fishermen. We're the minority.
We're supposed to be smaller.
Yeah, we are smaller.
Yeah, we are smaller.
Much smaller.
Yeah.
I know.
This is freshwater now. This is the
when
giant.
you're doing things for kids, it's amazing because they keep that forever.
Yep.
When I was a kid, I fished every day I could fish. And the only way I was able to do that is with my neighborhood support. People giving me product because we didn't have the money to buy things, and they give me lures and things. And boy, I cherished that, and I never forgot it. So I passed that on all the time.
Yeah,
try to help kids everywhere around here.
That's why you've been doing such a great job out there for so long. I do, before we slide out of this segment, I want it noted, Chris Mathis, could you mark the tape? If you're looking to build up your self-esteem, if you're looking for a friend, a buddy, a sidekick to pick you up and build you up as a person, D-Hubs is not the right guy. Because we're just cruising right along, and then D-Hubs is like, yeah, we're pretty insignificant. We don't really matter. We're small.
When we're talking to a guy like Ron at Ron's Tackle Box about freshwater fishing, it is true.
I was trying to beat, but I wake up in the morning and I try to beat somebody every day, and I come in here and you got to beat me down.
We're less than 30% of the fishing market.
We're very
in saltwater.
Insignificant.
And then if you're an offshore fisherman that fishes beyond 20 miles, you're less than 1%.
I may have to go home today and have a beer before noon just because I'm so distraught.
You're an inshore saltwater fisherman, so you're 30%. I'm less than 1%, man. That's how much my market share is. Fishing beyond 20 miles in the Gulf.
See, but I would never say to you,
hey,
Dylan, you're insignificant.
Before I get off here, I want to wish all the mothers.
Ron's like, let me out of here.
Yeah, that's a great point. It is a Mother's Day weekend. That's a great point you bring up there for sure.
Good time. Take mom out fishing. What a day.
No doubt.
Wonderful.
No doubt. Good point. And always good to hear your voice, my friend. Tell everybody how they can find you out there.
All right, I'm at 380 South Lakeshore Way, which is 1792 in Lake Alfred. Phone number 863-956-4990. I appreciate you guys so much.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, you do a great job for us, Ronnie. Keep up the great work out there in Lake Alfred. We appreciate you, pal. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
See you, buddy.
Good stuff. We got another caller?
No.
Let's go back to the venting thing. So you asked me a question about, I thought they were pushing the venting. So the reason they got away from that, and I think it was 2007, 2009, somewhere in there.
Because people didn't know how to do it right.
Yeah, they mandated you had to have a venting tool on the boat. This was prior to descending devices becoming a thing, and they mandated you had to have a venting tool, you had to use it, and people were like, okay, cool. And they grabbed a bunch of venting tools, went offshore, and just started stabbing fish.
And for people that don't know,
a venting tool is just a sharp object.
Yeah, it's kind of like a It's almost like a needle.
It's a large gauge, 16 gauge needle.
Right, basically, and what they wanted you to do was kind of perforate that air bladder, right?
Yes, yeah, and you go right underneath the pectoral fin, so the fin on the side of the fish, right near the base of it, and that's where you're going, and you want to go at like a 45-degree angle towards the fish's mouth, and you want to use your thumb and forefinger as a guard, because you only need to puncture the fish maybe a millimeter or two into its bladder, into its swim bladder, because the swim bladder is so expanded, it's pressed right up against the skin. So as soon as you puncture the skin, you're already letting that gas
You can
escape.
kind of see it. When you hit it, you can kind of see it a little bit.
You can hear it, you can see it, you can feel the stomach start to relieve pressure. Never, never, ever poke or puncture the thing that protrudes out of the stomach. That is their stomach, or out of their mouth, excuse me. So everybody's like, oh yeah, you could just puncture that thing sticking out of the mouth.
Well,
No.
they'll go down.
Oh, they'll go down right away, but they'll die a slow, agonizing death because you've cut a hole in their stomach.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah, so always make sure you vent properly if you're going to vent. But now what they're really pushing is descending devices, because in later, like 2010 to 14, descending devices became a thing in California off the West Coast because they have a big problem with rockfish. So these fish live 200 to 600 foot of water, and they're these little baby fish like the size of our sea bass that we catch, or mangrove snapper. They're very small, very good to eating, but they're very deep water. So all of a sudden, all these people are catching rockfish, and regulations got really crazy, and the seasons got super short. So recreational fishermen were like, we're going to change this with descending devices. And they did all the science, and they did all these studies, and they basically proved that you can descend a rockfish that you catch in 600 foot of water and use a descending device to send it back down, and it will survive.
That's great.
Through tag and recapture studies, they've proven that.
We played, Billy and I played with some of these descending devices, 10, 12 years ago on the show. We had people bringing them to us, and I thought this is pretty cool stuff.
It's really cool, and it's easier than venting. If you're not comfortable venting, if you don't want to put another hole in the fish, it works really well, a descending device. And again, you can get one absolutely free right now by going to returnemright.org. So returnemright.org, and you can get a free descending device with a weight, all rigged and ready. All you have to do is tie it on the line. And what we do is use like a short, broken old grouper stick and throw it on one of those old Penn Senators or Daiwas, just a really basic reel, and it works perfectly to just send fish while you're offshore fishing.
Now, do you on the big party boat? Are you going to have multiple?
So what we do on our boats, because we fish a lot and we're very familiar with it, we prefer venting because when you have two crew members and 15, 20, 30 people fishing, if we were waiting each fish to descend it,
it'd be tough.
We'd be killing fish.
Right.
So we just run down the deck with a venting tool and a dehooker, and we vent as many fish as we can. But let's say it's not red snapper season and you catch one of those 20-pound sows, a lot of times we'll descend that fish, because the longer the fish is fighting, the harder it fights, the more oxygen it loses, and the greater the barotrauma effects. So if you can get it up quickly, dehooked quickly, vented, and back in the water quickly, they always swim away, no problem. But if it takes a long time for you to get it up, if it's a big fish, it fights hard, and then you're struggling to get it in the boat because it's a big fish, then you want to take a photo of it because it's a big fish, you can vent it all day long and it won't go back down. So those bigger fish we end up having to descend, but that's the only time we really use it on our boats.
Got it. Interesting.
Yeah.
Good
But on your
stuff.
own boat, use it all the time. It's super, super easy.
Yeah. Good stuff.
returnemright.org. Get it free. Learn where to vent a fish. Learn how to use a descending device. It's 10, 15 minutes. That's all it takes.
Well, and I think inshore, offshore,
We got to lower discard mortality.
we get off on some tangents. We go down some rabbit holes. We talk food and, goof on one another and all that stuff. If you don't get anything else, out of this program, we love the listeners and we're blessed to have great numbers here on Saturday and Sunday mornings talking fishing. But if you don't get anything else, please get the fact that both Dylan and I Mahoney and I, Ben and I, the whole gang at Real Animals Fishing, we love what we do. We love fishing in general. We've all done it since we were kids, and we want to be able to pass that on to future generations. And in order to do that, we have to start paying attention to the conservation side of things and being forward thinking. The population is continuing to grow here. The sport is getting more and more advanced with the technical side of things. Bottom machines and all that are getting better and better. Now we got, GPS trolling motors that can, spot lock you right over a rig so that you're right over the meat all the time. It's getting easier and easier to catch these fish. We're putting more pressure on them. And again, all of us love to eat fish. We all, I mean, we're good old boys. We all like guns and, cold beers. But when it comes down, take what you want, what is legal to take that you're going to eat that day. Don't fill a freezer full of meat. Make sure those fish that you aren't going to take home get released right. I mean, it's a big, big deal. We've got Alan on the other side. We're going to talk to him, checking in, wanting to talk some inshore fishing. We still got to talk about cobia. We still got to talk some more about redfish changes in our fishery, what you guys are thinking about that. So lots of stuff going on here, headed towards the top of the hour here. 1-800-969-9352. Your questions, comments, fishing reports, you can bring them right here. We'll be back.
Clear cut, straightforward, no surprises. It's how we do business at Furman, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram of Newport Richey. The store that saves you more at 19.
You know what I noticed up here too? Channel 8 didn't give you any love for that.
What?
The story about the
I know, right?
It's bullshit.
Well, I'm glad finally they're starting to talk about it. Mike Boylan from Mike's Weather Page has been talking about that storm or that potential for 6-7 days, and I saw it on my thing, and then started watching his live videos about it. And there was at some points they were talking about it being like 105. 1,000 millibars, like a pretty significant, almost Cat 1 storm. Now they've definitely downgraded it as far as the model runs that I saw this morning. But still going to bring a lot of rain from North Carolina to probably Canaveral. And it could potentially sit there for 7 days. It's a lot of rain. But if it doesn't build, a subtropical storm on that side of the state won't really affect us, except for it'll keep the wind up.
I'm supposed to fish Fort Pierce.
Oh, you're screwed.
Next a week from Monday.
A week from Monday.
Yeah.
It could potentially be out of there. A week from Monday.
Snook fishing the pass over there.
16th. Yeah, it should be gone by the 16th. Caught 5 bass yesterday with some shiners from Ron's Tackle Box.
Nice.
Couple of 5-pounders. Nice, Jason Richmond. That's awesome, man. Are the grouper picking up on the bite offshore? We're doing really well on the red grouper, scamp grouper, and deep water. Deep water is the key right now. So 39 hours, 12-hour streams. Captain Mike Perry from the Keys said, any captains whack jobs that you know?
Few. Certainly a few. You'll have to call me on the phone to get a list, but
DM me now.
I could put that together in alphabetical order if you like.
Dude, have you seen whatchamacallit, Yellowstone?
never missed an episode.
Oh, really?
Oh, I love Yellowstone.
My wife and I started it last night.
Oh, dude, it's the best. You're way behind. Oh, it's phenomenal.
It is good.
Oh. I got a problem, Maverick.
You want me to bring in this?
I got it. Or you bring it.
This is the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
So Dylan just let me know that him and his wife have just found Yellowstone. Are you a Yellowstone fan, Chris?
I've seen a couple of episodes.
What?
I wouldn't say I went out of my way to see it, but I liked the few that I did see.
Dude.
So, yeah, I
guarantee you.
Now I'm really questioning this. How could you watch one of those episodes and be like,
Yeah.
Okay, I was with my grandparents when I saw it. Believe it or not,
okay.
they watched it. I enjoyed it, but I didn't go out of my way to go watch it, if you know what I'm saying.
I got you.
So,
There is nothing like Rip taking some boys to the train station. That is the best.
all right, I'm on my second episode, so please don't ruin it.
I'm not ruining it.
All right.
That won't ruin it for you.
But I do like that guy.
Yeah,
I'm glad to hear
everybody's
he's
got
still around.
Oh, yeah. Rip is...
he's a great actor.
Rip is Rip.
I really like that guy.
Yeah, Rip is Rip. Yeah. I'm a big Yellowstone fan. I was a big fan of Ozark, too.
I like Ozark. I haven't seen the final season of that one yet.
Yeah, we just watched it. We just finished it up, so... a little heartbreaking to lose that one, but it was a good one for sure. So let's go to the phones here real quick.
Just trying to switch it up so we don't give away the endings of these shows that I want to watch.
I want to talk about Cobia, and I still want to talk about
keep
Redfish.
talking about how we want to talk about Cobia and
Redfish. The
Redfish.
constant tease, but we got to go to Alan because Alan's been on hold and he's probably working this morning, serving our great community. Alan, how are you?
Doing pretty well. Thank you, boys. Good to hear you this morning. That was a heck of a storm that went through.
Yeah, right?
Ooh, yeah.
Well, yeah, we need the rain. The good news is when you get this rain early, it pushes the crab flush. That's what happens. When you get good, steady rain, you get better crab flushes.
And we got a full moon coming up next weekend.
Oh, yes, we do. I got tarp and chips.
Man, let me tell you my sad story.
Come on, quickly. I got about a minute and a half.
Well, I had Boca Grande booked for the 15th and 16th, and then I tore up a knee, and I had to have surgery a couple weeks ago, and I thought there's no way I'm making that tarpon trip, so I canceled my room in Boca Grande. I canceled my trip with Dave Dennison, and I had a really great surgeon, Dr. Coco Eaton, put me back together, and I missed less than 2 weeks of work. I'm already back at work. Knee is great, and I can't get back in the trip. I can't get the room, and I'm like, crap. But I called real quick to ask you a quick question because it's something I see. I normally go with, for my inshore stuff, like 15-pound Power Pro for my braid, and I'm thinking about downsizing down to 10-pound because I'm just not able to get consistently up in those mangroves.
No brainer.
It's a lot of work, and I'm just wondering, is that a way to go? Is 10-pound good enough?
Yep. It's what's on my charter rods. I have 10 and 15. Okay. I have two sets of rods, 10-pound and 15-pound, and I use the 10-pound stuff 90% of the time unless I'm snapper fishing in the shipping channel. I step up to 15. That way we got a shot at a bigger gag if you get one on. Obviously, you're not going to get a monster gag, but, again, I don't want to be overdoing it either. So, yeah, 10-pound is the way to go for me. 15-pound is overkill in my opinion. Obviously, if you're fishing for grouper in the shipping channel, then you should be in a 30-pound class.
Yeah.
But, But I'm snapper fishing, so. Why are you laughing?
I'm not laughing.
He's laughing. I'm insignificant over here. Listen, I got to go. I'm up against the clock. Alan, good call, buddy.
That's funny.
Insignificant, Chris Mathis.
It's not what I said.
My partner's laughing.
You're putting words in my mouth.
Partner's laughing. We'll be back. 970 WFLA.
WFLA Tampa, WXTV HD2 Clearwater.
I'm laughing at the fact that you said, and I quote, well, if I'm going grouper fishing, I might use maybe 15, 30-pound. I was like,
I'll step up to 30 in the shipping channel.
all right.
Why?
It is what it is.
Because you need 80?
No, I mean, 30-pound is like the smallest I would use for the small snappers that we target. So, like, if I'm going to target a gag, probably 80-pound would be the go-to.
Yeah, but you can't do that in the shipping channel.
Yeah,
There's too much pressure. You got to have lighter line or they'll see that shit.
You could use 80-pound braid to maybe a 60-pound fluorocarbon leader. The shipping channel, you're fishing 45, 50 foot of water.
No fucking way. I'm telling you right now, dude, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Where I've had the fish chummed up.
Yeah.
Chummed up to the surface.
Well, if you have them chummed up, then you have to use lighter tackle. I'm talking about bottom fishing for them. You don't need to go super light because at 45 foot, not enough light's getting down there.
I've gone out there and had dropped 25 and 30 pound freaking fluorocarbon. A machine lit up like a Christmas tree, can't buy a bite. Go back there the next day with 15 or 10 pound fluorocarbon and wax their ass. I don't know if it's just different day, different color, different bite, but
the water's super clear. I could see making a big difference, but I don't know. Even in 40 foot of water, yeah, I might go down to 50, 60 pound, but I mean, to catch a gag grouper sitting by his rock using 10, 15 pound.
Oh, you won't get him. No, 100%. It's not it's I want mangoes, and if we get wrecked, we get wrecked.
If you're fishing for mangroves in 40 foot of water.
And that's what I'm doing. I'm fishing for mangroves. When I go to the shipping channel, I'm not thinking I'm going to catch a gag. I'm thinking I'm going to mangrove snapper fish,
then
put some mangoes in the boat. So I go light tackle, 15 pound, plus I'm on a lighter rod.
Yeah, I would still use probably 15, 20 pound, but yeah. The shipping channel, I understand.
15
probably,
pound braid is what I use. And I like the lighter rods because even if you get into those 17, 18-inch mangoes,
it feels like a monster.
They bend the shit out of the rod.
Yeah.
So everybody, the kids are fighting, think,
even if you catch a 10-inch mangrove on one of those 10, 12, 15-pound class rods.
Yeah. I usually fish my 17s, my real animal 17s, just because if you get a gag, and even an 18-inch gag, which we catch a lot of in the shipping channel, it bends the shit out of that rod to get a little, and that's what I want.
I think my lightest spinning rod that we carry, the Bull Bay ones, is the red wrapped is a 17 pound.
I want them to have to fight the fish a little bit, not just,
make
really
it sporting.
straight to the boat. Yeah. And I have the 15s if I'm fishing some big snook on some docks, where I want a 15-pound braid versus a 10-pound, just to give you a little more
of a
opportunity.
shot.
Yeah. But we catch, 40-inch redfish on the flats with 10-pound braid.
Yeah, because they're not going to break you off on anything.
Yeah, there's nothing there to break you off on. Just let them run around out there and tire themselves out. Don't horse them, and they'll get tired, come over, I'll revive them, and we're all good.
Tim Edwards on Facebook said Rip has a home in Sarasota, and he has been seen at many Bucks games. That's interesting.
It is, yeah. It's a great program.
I really like him as an actor.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Other movies.
He is a good actor, yeah.
He's a really good actor.
He was in Ben Affleck and Matt Damon did that first one that kind of put them on the map. Good Will Hunting, is that it? The one where Matt Damon's the genius that does all the math problems and all that. I think it's Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
We're watching it, and I'm like, that's Rip. And Beth was like, holy shit, it is Rip. He was in that one.
Huh. Crazy.
He's actually a redhead.
Is it redhead?
Yeah. If you see pictures of him, you'll start to follow him on Facebook and stuff like that. You will.
You're a big Yellowstone fan.
I'm a huge Yellowstone fan. I think it's epic. I absolutely love it. It's how the world should operate. The whole world would be a better place if John Dutton ran this bitch. 100%. John Dutton for president. Take care of a lot of shit.
We should make that bumper sticker. I'm sure it's probably already a thing.
I'm sure it is. Oh, wait till you get to know Beth Dutton.
Beth
Dutton.
That's his daughter. Yeah, she's crazy.
Yeah.
First 2 episodes.
She's awesome, bro. It gets better. At first you don't like her, and then pretty soon you're like, oh, I like her. Yeah, she's an animal.
Yeah. We were going to bed last night, and we finished 2 episodes, and I was like, I got to go to bed at the radio show tomorrow. And my wife and I looked at each other, and we're like, we both were saying at the same time, we hope the kids sleep at the same time today, take a nap at the same time. It's rare, but sometimes we can make it happen. So we get an episode in.
It's really good. Good news is now you got some seasons to catch up on.
Yeah, I don't like starting a show and having to watch it every week. I mean, I haven't had cable for almost 4 years, so wait till there's at least 4 or 5 seasons to get into a show.
See, we just record the episodes, and that way if you don't see it on the night that it's on, it's not a big deal. You just get caught up on it. So,
do you have a DVR and have cable?
I have satellite. I have to have the Packer games.
Packer game. You know, you don't have to have the Packer games. You can get a streaming device like an Android box or an Apple TV. YouTube TV is $75 a month, and you can watch all the Packers games you want.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, we're back.
I got to figure that out.
I can help you.
I need you to fix my email address. Let's start there.
Wheel Animals Radio Show, your weekly voyage into Florida fishing. Presented by Hubbard's Marina. Hosted by Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
Welcome back. 7:06 here at the iHeart Media Empire. So the way the callers are lined up here, we're never ever going to get to talk about cobia.
So long story short, cobia went from 33 to 36 inches. They want to match those federal regulations. The feds changed from 33 to 36. They reduced the commercial bag limit and reduced the recreational and commercial vessel limit to 2 fish. So you're only allowed 1 fish per harvester or 2 fish per vessel, whichever is less.
And 36 inches to the fork.
Yep.
Not a pinch tail on cobia. It's to the fork. So,
yeah, a lot of concern over cobia populations in the Gulf of Mexico, from Brownsville, Texas, to Louisiana, to all the way across.
And with your time spent offshore,
definitely a huge decrease for us offshore.
But do you? I mean, you see this as a good thing?
In my opinion, I'm not super heavy into the cobia fishery. It's always been a bycatch for us. Mm-hmm. But when I was working on charter boats from 12 to 18 years old, we caught cobia often, at least a couple a month, where you're sitting on a spot and all of a sudden someone yells shark, and it's never a shark, it's a cobia.
Right.
And we'd catch them, and we'd see them pretty frequently. We don't see them anymore.
I agree.
Yeah, it's just very, very rare that we run across them. There's still a good cobia bite in Tampa Bay overall. A lot of people are like, cobia, we catch a lot of cobia. We see a lot of cobia. And I've seen some nice cobia caught recently in Tampa Bay. A kid just caught a nice one off Madeira Beach. Tourist came in, bought live shrimp, went out there, cast it into the surf, and caught a 38-inch cobia. So they are still fish around. It's just, I think there's been a marked decrease. And up in the northern Gulf, like Pensacola, Destin, Alabama, Orange Beach, Mississippi, that's their fish. That's their bread and butter. They do directed cobia trips on the beach, and they're gone. They're screaming up there about the cobia are decimated. They've been screaming for 4 years. Finally, the feds changed it, cracked down, and now the state's just getting compliant.
I like it. I personally like it. It's a fish that, again, I saw a lot more of. We used to have a phenomenal cobia bite right around the first cold front of the year. Mm-hmm. November, when your first true cold front hit, we would get a massive push of cobia to the power plant at Big Bend and Apollo Beach. Yeah. I mean, a big, like you could time it. Like if that cold front hit, you could go there. The big stingrays would be there, and there'd be cobia, good numbers of them. And there's still a few fish that show up, but nothing like there used to be. I remember a group trip we ran 20 plus years ago out of Little Harbor, and everybody, like 6 or 8 of us, were like, dude, cold front just came. We're all headed for the power plant. I looked at my people. You want to go catch cobia? Oh yeah. Let's go to the power plant. I came out of Little Harbor, came around Dickman's Point, and was headed across the Simmons Park Flat, and never made it to the power plant.
Wow!
I spent an entire 4-hour trip chasing schools of cobia on Simmons Park Flat.
That's incredible.
Schools, and there was giant fish in there that were 60, 70, 80 pounders, and you couldn't catch them because you'd pitch your bait, and the little ones, the 37 inchers, the 38 inchers, the 40 inchers would race out and get those baits before the big ones would even have a chance.
That's awesome.
It was unbelievable, like unbelievable cobia fishing. And I haven't seen that in years.
Yeah.
Years. So that's definitely a species that I was happy to see that. Maybe not everybody is, but I was very happy to see that. So let's go to the phones here. We've got our safe boating tip of the week. our good friend Captain Jim Fogel on the line here. We're hoping to get this segment sponsored. We're trying to get your segment sponsored.
It's so important.
We're working on it. We're working on it. We're working on Dylan and I's world being handier, if you will.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Today we were going to talk about dogs on the water.
Dogs on the water.
Safety of dogs. More and more people, especially around St. Pete, have got dogs. And they're sticking them in the boat, of course, and we want them to be safe. So you want to make absolutely sure, it doesn't matter what type of swimmer you got, as far as a dog, you want them to have a well-fitting life jacket at all times. You want to make sure it's got a strong handle so that when you try to lift them up and that when they're in the water, it doesn't break on you. But you want to make sure it's a bright color, maybe even have some reflective tape on it. They're making some with tape on them. And you also want to keep a leash on the dog while they're on the boat. And somebody beside the captain needs to keep track of the dog. I had one friend that lost a dog overboard and never found it. I mean, just devastating.
Nightmare.
That's terrible.
And one thing I want to add there.
Make sure your doggies are well hydrated. So you want to keep water available at all times. And if you stop, if you're going to a sandbar or something and the dog's going to get out and run around, keep an eye on them. Dogs do swallow a fair amount of water, my understanding anyway, that they swallow a lot of water. And if they get too much salt water in them, of course, they're going to get sick.
That won't be good.
I know of one dog, a big dog. It's a lab. And last year he was so sick one time that, almost died. Just really, it was terrible.
Too much salt
and
water.
we think it was salt water and red tide. The particular area they were in had a high reading of red tide toxin. So we're thinking that might have.
Yeah, one thing I want to throw in there too, Captain Fogel, is I had a big Doberman, and one thing you want to make sure you test before you get out there is whatever life jacket you get for your animal, no matter the size, you want to make sure on land to try picking them up from the handle on top of the life jacket.
Yes.
Because getting them back in the boat, you got to make sure that handle is balanced well enough and the life jacket can support the animal so you can pick them up by that handle. Because reaching over the gunwale of the boat to try to pull that dog back in the boat, you want to make sure that handle will work. And
we were going to recommend that you try it out in a pool before you take it out.
That's a good idea.
Water with the dog and see how that works. And that'll help you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to take them out on short trips to start with if they haven't been going with you a lot, and make the trips longer and longer, and see how your pet reacts. I wouldn't advise taking your cat out there. I tried that one time and it's about wrecked the boat. so anyway, you guys want to make sure if you're taking your dog out, you've got a good fitting life jacket. You know how to get them back in the boat, and you keep an eye on them at all times.
That's awesome. Great job, Jim Fogel. Well done, buddy.
Thank you, guys, for the Coast Guard Auxiliary in St. Pete's. Jim Fogel. Be safe out there.
Nice. Thanks, Jimmy. Good stuff.
Dude,
Good stuff, right?
The saltwater thing is real. That Doberman, we took him out to the island one day, my wife and I, my son, and we've got I think my son was less than a year old at the point. So we're obviously focused on him and watching him. The dog was running like crazy, having a great time. But then he got thirsty. So what'd he do? He started drinking salt water. I'm like, whoa, stop. Trying to give him as much fresh water as I can. He kept drinking salt water. So at this point, I'm like, we got to go. Because this dog's going to get sick. We got to go home. We got to get him some fresh water in him. So we get home, and he drinks a bunch of fresh water. I'm like, all right, cool. It's probably okay. Then walking him around before we leave, the salt water goes through an animal.
Oh, a river runs through him. It was like the great movie.
It was ugly. It was really, really ugly. So there's other bad things that can happen. So watch the salt water, guys.
It's a cleansing for your pooch. Did Jim Fogel actually say that he put his cat on the boat?
He did.
I thought that's what he said.
Yeah.
Did he? He did, yeah.
Yeah, and he said, do not do that. I recommend you do not do that. So he tried it for all of us. So.
Way to take one for the team.
Jim Fogel's the best. He really is. Let's check in with Dave here on a Hillsborough line who wants to chat about an upcoming tournament. David, how are you, pal?
I'm good. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
We're good. We're good. Talk to us. Sounds like your tournament's going to go off here pretty cool. Tell us what you got.
I'll tell you what, I appreciate your advice, and even no sweat, your cobia are safe in our tournament because we're targeting redfish, snook, and trout.
Nice.
There you go. Perfect. Good call.
Yeah, well, thanks so much. And Captain Mike, you've been gracious enough to participate and help us out over the years. This tournament is called Fishing for Dreams, and it's going to benefit the Children's Dream Fund here in West Central Florida that raises critical money for kids with life-threatening illnesses to grant dreams like Disney, meet their favorite, artist, give kids the world. And if you all recall, the story went viral a couple weeks ago with Brett Phillips hitting the home run for Chloe.
Yep.
She was one of our dream.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great cause that you guys are raising money for sure.
Yeah, that was a cool story.
We appreciate it. We'll be doing the captain's party. Again, Steve and Nancy Westfall were gracious enough to donate 2 of their restaurants. So the captain's meeting will be May 19th at Three Birds Tavern at 1492 4th Street. And then we're actually going to run our tournament from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. out of the Island Grill and Raw Bar in Tierra Verde.
Nice.
That's a nice place.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Yeah. All right.
We would certainly love to invite any angler that wants to participate. If they want to go to www.paiafl.com. Our presenting group is the Pinellas Association of Insurance Agents.
Okay, won't give that out one more time. The letters there.
Yeah, it's the abbreviation for Pinellas Association of Insurance Agents. It's www.paiafl.com.
Nice. Good stuff, buddy. Good stuff. When's the event again?
Friday, May 20th, 2 weeks away.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
Should be awesome, brother. Well done, dude. Well done. Good work.
And now I'm going to be thinking about raw oysters all day.
Yep. It's all your fault, Dave. It's all your fault. Now we're gonna have a whole food segment here about oysters and great restaurants on the water, and it's all your fault.
I'll call Pat right now. I'll make sure he can add some input right here for sure.
I will tell you, I've got one of our sponsors is actually he grows peppers in his backyard, so we're going to have bottles of Aw Shucks hot sauce for oysters being given out to each angler.
Okay, Dave, I'm hanging up on you. I'm hanging up on you now. Did I tell you that the cost for this shameless plug was some Aw Shucks? We're going to need some of that.
Yes, that's the cost.
I'm just messing with you, brother. Hey, great job, pal. Great job. Give us a call next week. We'll plug it some more and keep up the great work. Anything that has to do with raising money for kids, myself and D-Hubs, we're in.
Awesome, gentlemen. Have a great day.
You too, pal. Good stuff. Yeah, we do love the kids tournament stuff.
Mahoney's awake.
Is he? Oh, yeah. Alive and well.
He said, I don't think the cat Captain Jim Fogel put on the boat was the cat you're thinking. Those people have like actual wild cats now. There's like this certain kind of, it's not, I forget the name of it, but it's like a savanna from Africa, a savanna cat, and it's got like these pointy ears to it, and you have to feed it raw chicken, and it's like the size of a greyhound dog.
What?
But it's like a tiger. I want one.
I want one.
Tiger King, awesome.
Tiger King of St. Pete over here.
Yeah, for real. If my wife would let me have a tiger, I would definitely have a tiger.
Carol Baskin. Rabbit hole.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rabbit hole. Redfish. Yeah, they're talking about some serious changes, decreasing vessel limits, and the biggest thing about redfish that we need to talk about is that you guys should be paying attention. There's going to be a lot of upcoming workshops, something like 12 or so, maybe even 16. I forget the exact number, but it's more than 10 public workshops
all
coming
on the
up
West Coast
for
or
public
all over the
input
state?
all over the state.
Okay.
Because they're changing regulations all across the state every coast is getting some changes to shutting down and making it catch and release only in Indian River Lagoon, to increasing the bag limit in the Big Bend area, and then decreasing vessel limits across the board from 8 fish to 4 fish in some areas and 8 fish to 2 fish per vessel in most areas. So some significant reductions. So definitely a lot of stuff to keep an eye on for redfish, and attend those public workshops and let your comments be heard.
It was funny because when Jim Fogle said he was going to talk about dogs on your boat, I thought he was talking about my boys. Because like when I see Chris Mathis in the morning, I'm like, what up, dog? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So initially I was like, is he talking about my friends on the boat, or is he talking about actual dogs?
I do need to go deep sea fishing one of these days. So then I could be a dog on a boat at that point.
We got
What's up, dog? Yeah, I'd love to do that.
All our board ops go fishing with us.
Yeah,
so
we'll make that happen for you.
All right, I'm taking down a note right now.
He's marking the tape. You said it out loud. All good stuff. We're talking fishing on the other side. Phone lines are open, 1-800-969-9352. Light them up. We'll be back.
Drive down this highway. I gotta hit
Gills Apparel was started by anglers looking for one thing: performance. Stylish, lightweight, comfortable apparel that keeps you cool and protected on the water or off. Cool Core technology offers all-day comfort in even the harshest environments while giving you amazing sun protection. See for yourself why Gills Apparel was the easy choice for the Real Animals fishing team. Check out the...
And I took Rob, our last board op, fishing on a half-day trip.
Man, that's cool.
He caught fish.
So whenever you do that, is it like you got a whole group of people?
Yeah, you could do a private charter. You could do private charter, or you could do a public party boat. So
that'd be sweet. Yeah. How much you guys charge?
For the 5-hour half day on the party boat, it's $75. But we'll treat you to a trip.
That's not bad, man.
Yeah, you're coming.
That's not bad.
I'm
down though.
You're a guest.
I appreciate it, man. I'll post some stuff to social media and whatnot too. So.
We'll be right back, guys. No, it's a lot of.
News.com/rules. Tampa Bay.
Dude, you missed it. They just put a commercial on that station talking about stuff around the area today. There's a taco festival at Curtis Hickson Park.
What?
Is that in Tampa? That's where Gasparilla is.
Curtis Hickson?
Hickson?
Curtis Hickson, yeah, that's downtown.
Yeah, like on the waterfront, right?
What? In the rain?
Taco Fest. I took a picture. I'll give you the details.
This is the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
All right, Chris Mathis, your first job, your assignment, should you choose to accept it. There's a taco festival at Curtis Hickson Park today. It was just on TV. We need the details.
I got it. I took a picture.
You took a picture?
Dude, if a taco festival is advertised, you better believe I'm writing down the details.
Taco festival.
Saturday, May 7th at 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. That is a solid festival. It's $20 for 5 tacos. I'm about that life.
I wonder if how many people like just tune into like 970, you know, they're like just like spinning through the dial and they hear us talking, and I wonder how often they think, oh, there's a food show on.
Well, I think we're pretty much the only option as far as live radio goes Saturday mornings. So
Bay Area wide.
Yeah, probably. I mean, look at the radio station. We're at like the biggest radio station in Tampa Bay, and the only 2 trucks in the parking lot are you and me and poor Chris Mathis' car. That's it. That's the only people in the studio right now.
You know, when people are like going by, they're headed to the airport, they're traveling to cool places, like, ooh, look at those guys. They're losers.
Suckers.
Losers. They're on the radio at 6 a.m. and no one's awake. Beautiful.
And everybody listening is like, oh, it's a food show.
It's a food show. Oh, a taco festival. Excellent. Let's go. If my wife's listening right now, the whole day's plans just got changed. We're going to a taco festival.
That's why I love Beth.
Yes. She is all about the tacos.
I'm going to send her the photo.
I can screw. That's fine by me. I can go do tacos and beer all day. Yay. Yay me, tacos and beer. Let's go to Chuck in Seffner. Chuck, save us here this morning. How are you?
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning. I got a question for each one of you. For you, Mr. Anderson, first. So you were talking about your guide and the reels and that you with the line, and the gentleman was talking about downsizing his braid. When you're fishing over there, do you, and I'm sure you have a fluorocarbon at the end of that braid, you're tying it directly to the line, and what size fluorocarbon are you using?
Well, it depends on the clarity of the water. We were talking about that at the break. You know, if I'm snapper fishing in the bay,
we were arguing about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll use like a 25-pound, maybe a 30, depending on the clarity. But I've had it where the water gets really, really clean, and you got to drop it down to like a 15-pound fluorocarbon just to get the bite. Now, the bad news there is if you do, you know, hook a gag grouper or something else, you know, big cobia or something swimming by that you hadn't expected, you probably won't win that battle. But
on the flats, though, your go-to fluorocarbon.
On the flats, if everything I rig up in the morning on my 10-pound braid is with a 25-pound fluorocarbon.
That's right.
Always.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then the more extensive question for Captain Fluffy, I have a question for him, and that's going to be for the snapper regulations. I'm sure that you guys have read about it in the newspaper where Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, and Florida, and all the regulations have been changing that. My question is why is it so different for every state and different region? Is it because of the migration of the fish?
Well, we've got less than a minute here, so way too much to go into in that amount of time. Yeah. But the long story short of it, for specifically red snapper, Amendment 50 passed around 2 years ago, and what that did was it delegated federal management of red snapper for private recreational anglers, so anglers fishing on their own private boats in federal waters, to the states. So the state of Florida and the Gulf side manages not only state waters but also federal waters specifically for red snapper. So they can set their own state seasons, size limits, bag limits. And that's why every one of the 5 states is different. You have a certain amount of quota or allocation or number of pounds, and you can set your own season, size limits, and bag limits. So like, for example, Louisiana, after those big storms, they had 4 fish bag limit, and they set the minimum size limit down to, I think, like 4. I don't know exactly, but they changed size limit and bag limits to make sure they were catching their state's quota. So that's the reason why.
So it doesn't have anything to do with the number of anglers that are registered or the proposed, you know, the idea of how many people might be targeting
fishing
the fish?
Pressure.
No, it just has to do with how much quota the state has and how many pounds they have to catch. The state of Florida has 43% of the Gulf quota.
Chuck, that is a phenomenal phone call. Absolutely phenomenal.
gentlemen.
If we were giving out awards for phenomenal phone call, you would win today. That was a great phone call. Excellent, excellent, excellent stuff. We've got Captain Bobby Woodard on the other side. Looking forward to talking to him. And you as well. 1-800-969-9352. Light him up. We'll be back.
News, traffic, and weather. Top and bottom.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't going to get it in there in time.
Oh, that was good, though.
Yeah. Captain Bobby is a Florida Guides Association board member.
Bobby Woodard, where is he from?
He lives north of Tampa Bay, fishes south of Tampa Bay. He fishes like Port Charlotte. He's our Southwest Florida regional director for Florida Guides Association.
Nice.
You turn down the monitor.
Sorry, dog.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I like him a lot. And we just took Travis Thompson on as a board member he's doing hunting. So now we have a hunting region for the Florida Guides Association. Because it's not the Florida Fishing Guides Association, it's the Florida Guides Association. So we're trying to we're trying to branch out to kayak guides. So that way, if you're a guide in the state, we can represent all
I like
guides.
it.
Yeah,
I like it. I
trying
got to become a
branch
member.
out.
You have to send me the paperwork.
That's a website, florida-guides.com. You can sign up on the website.
You guys will be a website.
I'll text it to you.
All right.
We can sign you up after the show. There you go.
Boom.
Well,
Is it still raining over there, or did it stop?
A broken line of showers and a few strong thunderstorms will continue to push south through the area. Rain chances, though, coming down this
bad reviews. I gotta turn that off.
Bad reviews on
All the reviews go to my phone, so my phone dings all the time, and then there's so many good reviews, and it's like, oh, good. But then a bad review, and it just like takes it right to the heart, you know? Just cuts you down.
You get all emotional.
Mm-hmm. But we now have over 12,000 reviews.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That's great.
Yeah, between Facebook, TripAdvisor, and Google. Over 12,000 reviews.
I meant to talk about that, too. We got to talk about that. We got to get that word out there.
Yeah. Top 10 boat tours in the country.
In the country, dog.
Yes, sir. Hubbard's Marina.
Dog.
Oh, look at that timing. Oh, okay. I thought I had the wrong mic on. But we're good. Big group party fishing. You okay, buddy?
Yep.
There it is. Dude, Gator Gyms is so crazy. I'll never forget the first time I went in there. I was like, what in the world is this place?
It's an amazing place.
It is really crazy how much tackle they have in that shop. And they're good people. Every time you go in there, there's someone just hanging out there chilling.
Yep. They know how to do it.
Place.
There's a lot of people out there that for some reason don't get it.
Yeah.
Open a business and want to do it their own way.
Well, to me, it's nuts Because like some tackle shops, you go in there and they're all about getting you in and getting you out.
Yep.
Whereas like Gator Gyms, it's an experience. It's a visit. Sit there, drink a beer.
It's a destination.
Yeah, it's a destination.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, they have like the Bass Pro model, but it's a mom and pop Bass Pro.
Yep.
It's really cool. And they have more stuff than Bass Pro, which is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Capt Mike from the Keys said, when you guys finally head south, there's breakfast at Big Pine Key Diner is absolutely a go-to. And they have lunch with fresh yellowtail snapper stuffed with crab or lobster. A yellowtail stuffed with lobster?
Now you're just bragging, Mike.
I'm driving down there today.
That's just bragging. If you really cared about us, we'd have already had that.
You know you can mail stuff, right?
Overnight it.
Oh, yeah. Do we have callers on the line?
One, Bobby Woodard.
Oh, yeah. I remember now. That was like 5 minutes ago we talked about that.
Wow.
I'm losing it.
Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Hey, don't forget, if you're looking for a roof or a roof repair, check out our friends at Affordable Roofing Systems. 3 decades, over 30 years of experience and roofing knowledge to help you make a very, very important decision. Whether you need a shingle, metal tile, or a flat roof, Affordable Roofing Systems is your safest choice for both repairs or replacements. For your free estimate, you can give them a call today at 1-888-397-ROOF or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. Also, if you are a plumber out there and you are looking to maybe make a change, you want to go to work for a different company, maybe the company you work for, the owner's a jerk. Well, my good friend Joe at Titan Plumbing and Electric is not a jerk. Great guy. Him and his family have done work at our home for years. I've been taking him and his kids fishing for years. Great people, great environment to work in over there at Titan Plumbing and Electric. If you're looking to change your world up a little bit, maybe go to work for a different plumber, give them a call today at 813-933-8010.
And if you want to work at an outside place and maybe go fishing a little bit, dolphin watching, Hubbard's Marina is hiring too. since we're doing this,
since we're on this plug line, let me jump in.
Could definitely use some more beach cabana attendant.
That sounds like a good job too,
dude. Yes, it's an awesome job. Imagine going out to the beach every day, setting up a couple cabanas, maybe an umbrella, maybe renting a paddleboard, and just chilling on the beach. Granted, it is a little bit of physical labor, but you make some really good money.
That job might not be open for long.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about a change.
Yeah, I got you.
That'd be good.
You're a shoo-in.
I am.
I feel like you could I feel like you could carry a paddleboard.
I could do it. I could do it. Yeah. Wow.
And we our dolphin tours, island trips, shelling trips, we have a pretty good solid crew that like we're never looking for people. We always have people beating down our doors wanting to get on there, and there's never really open positions. We lost 4 people in 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, 4 people. Yeah, it was a little trialsome, so we're scrambling a little bit. We could definitely use some people.
Did you do some soul searching there? Do you think maybe?
Nothing to do with us. People love working at Hubbard's Marina. We're a big family.
Okay,
it's fun over there.
Just checking. I didn't know if you needed to look.
Our dolphin tour captain is retiring this year after 28 years.
That's crazy.
28 years. We have a crew member who's been working for us for 18 years.
Let's get back to the cabana gig. What does that pay? I need to know. My wife, when I take this home,
you average about $18 to $19 an hour, and then you get tips.
What?
Yeah. If you make $500 in sales and for a day, which is pretty easy to do on a nice day, you can easily make $17 to $18, and then you make tips. And if you do like $1,000 in sales, you're over $20 an hour, and you get tips. So you can be doing $25, $30 an hour on a really nice day out there on the beach.
Chris Mathis is perked up in there.
I'm out. Yeah, when will I start?
I like the whole. You had me at you're going to be working on the beach. That part to me was great.
Yeah,
let's check in here, Captain Bobby Woodard. Bobby, how are you this morning?
Hey, doing great, fellas. How are y'all?
We're good, man. Good to hear your voice, pal. Everything going good?
Yeah, man. It's banging down here in Boca.
I heard
fishing's
that.
great. Pretty much anything you want to fish for. The inshore bite for all the big species, snook, trout, redfish has been great.
Awesome.
Offshore, we got the kingfish, Spanish mackerel, cobia, grouper, snappers, all that kind of stuff. But permit bite's been good. But for me, it's tarpon. Will be for the next couple months.
I heard that Boca Grande Pass was a little bit choked with tarpon.
Yeah. There's just a few fish down here, man.
That's what I heard. That's great.
My mate, we're fishing the ladies tournament today. My mate went out last night after the captain's party with his family, and they flew 16 fish last night in 4 hours.
What?
Dude, Mike Manning.
That's heinous.
Mike Manning said he flew 50 fish in 3 days. He went 10 for 16 the other day.
Oh my goodness!
On a trip, 10 for 16, jumped 16
Manning's been
fish.
hot.
Yeah, I'm like, Mike's been doing it a long time. He was down there when I was down there, camped out. So, and I haven't been down there on a daily basis in many years. So, Mike's been doing it a long time. Yeah, Mike's post was, the bite's pretty good. We've jumped 50 fish. They've hooked 50 fish in 3 days.
That's insane.
That's great. I've gone 3 days and had one bite before. I mean, not that that's tarpon fishing, and that'll happen this season sooner or later. It's red hot for a while,
Absolutely
and it always does. Yeah, tarpon. I call it tarpon being tarpon. Some days you love them, and some days you're like, you are one frustrating fish, pal.
What's the hot bait right now? What are you using to get the bite?
So for me personally, crabs and squirrelfish. I don't typically fish any artificial baits until it's later in the season up in the harbor doing the bait buster or hoagie eel kind of thing. But for the past bite for me personally, it's just all crabs and squirrelfish. And typically squirrelfish late afternoon while the sun's still up, sun starts getting low on the horizon or after dark, switch over to the crabs, and it's just been gangbusters, man. It's been pretty incredible.
That's awesome stuff. Yeah, that's awesome stuff. How long have you been fishing down there, Bobby?
I believe this is going to be my 23rd season down here.
Oh, okay.
Been guiding for I think it's somewhere around 9 years now. But fishing pretty much exclusively for tarpon down in this area. Over 20 years for sure.
Okay, nice.
That's awesome.
Nice. Yeah, I got out of there, during the whole. Live bait or jigger hater fest deal was kind of toward the end of my. I really just couldn't take it anymore. So I kind of pulled out of it. But the funny part, when you said squirrelfish, it brought me back to there was the big save the tarpon thing going on with those knuckleheads, and then we were. Because we were on the, I did both. I've always done live bait and jig fished, and we were like, how come we got to just save the tarpon? How come we can't save the doggone squirrelfish? The poor squirrelfish is the one that's getting decimated here. He's the one that's taking a beat down, feeding him to that big old bucket mouth.
Yeah.
But that's a great way to catch them. Them squirrelfish is a great bait, and there's nothing. I fish Captiva a lot with Ozzie Fisher, Nick Fisher, Ozzie Lessinger doing some filming, and I always put in at Placida, and I run down there because obviously it's much faster for me by boat than it is if you have to drive all the way around and come up to South Seas. But every single time, Bobby, if you can hear my voice and you've never seen it, listen, I promise you, from the deepest caring parts of my heart, I tell you, if you love the salt water, spend a day in Boca Grande Pass.
It's mind-boggling.
Boca Grande Pass is epic.
It's fun to just sit there and watch the boats work.
It's such a beautiful, majestic, special place. Every time I go by there, every morning I'm headed down to South Seas to film, and I go, even if it's windy and it's bumpy in the pass, which it can be, or flat calm, it's such a majestic place, Bobby. I'm so jealous that you get to do that. It's one of the things I miss, the morning trip into Boca Grande Pass as the sun's coming up.
That dock.
There's nothing.
That dock by the lighthouse.
Just nothing like it. The old phosphate dock.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a crazy place, Bobby. You're blessed to be down there, bro.
Oh, I feel the same way, man. You just spoke the truth. It's an amazing place, and it's not just the fishing; it's the history of the area, the island. You know, I always try to save a little bit of time at the end of the trip. You know, taking the clients back to the dock to, just kind of cruise over by Whiddens and Miller's or Boca Grande Marina now, and just kind of give them a little 30-minute cruise of the inner parts of the island and talk a little history with them and. Just kind of point out that it's more than just the fishing down here, but it's like you said, it's amazing, man. Watching that sun come up over the eastern horizon over there by Burnt Store, and it's a pretty miraculous place for sure. It's definitely got a sweet spot in my heart.
It's special. The pink elephant, and it's just amazing.
What's that one park that you go to and you take the tractor with the trolley? It's like on the south side of the pass, I believe.
Cayo Costa?
Yes, that's one.
State Park.
Yep.
I love that place.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, our family went down there and stayed on our boat just on the north side of that island. It was so beautiful. I love that area.
It's a really beautiful, special. That whole thing, Captiva, Cayo Costa, that whole stretch right there, Boca Grande, all the way up, really, even to Venice. It's just such an incredible piece of earth. It really is. It's a special, special place. I remember sitting so many times, all by yourself up there, maybe towards Stump Pass or somewhere, the bite gets a little stale and you try to get off by yourself and find a pot of fish on the beach, and you luck into just seeing one roll somewhere and you get bit, and you're sitting in the tower, your customer's on the front of the boat, and you're just looking at that beautiful shoreline, and you're like, I don't know if it ever gets any better than that, Bobby. I just don't. So
sometimes we have to pinch ourselves and ask, do we really get paid to do this?
Right, no doubt, 100%, Bobby, 100%. Bobby, give out your contact info if anybody's looking to book a trip down there in Boca Grande. How can they get a hold of you, brother?
Yeah, sure. So website is Captain, all spelled out, -Bobby, BOBBY.com, and phone number is 863-224-1418. Give me a shout, and we'll fit you in, get you on the books, get you out here, and let you guys experience it.
Hey, we appreciate you, brother, and stay in touch with us, bro. We could use them reports coming in from the south when you get a chance. I know a lot of mornings, you're working, this time, but you can always give us a call. We start here at 6 in the morning, and we'd love to get those reports coming down from that Boca Grande area as much as you can get them to us. We'll take them.
Yeah, will do. I appreciate you guys. And just a quick, happy Mother's Day to everybody. That's what we're doing today is fishing the Ladies' Day tournament. So,
nice.
Kind of the official kickoff of the, quote-unquote tarpon season down here. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And if you guys can get out to Bartow for that Bobby Lane seminar, is going to be pretty epic.
Good stuff. Nice plug. Bobby, we appreciate you, brother. Stay in touch with us, and good luck today. Catch them up.
And thanks for your service to the Florida Guides Association board, brother. Thanks for calling.
Thank you. Thank you. You as well, Dylan. All right. See you guys.
See you, buddy. Good luck. Good stuff. That's a great phone call.
Yeah, Boca Grande.
It put me in a very special place.
You
in
got
my
super
brain.
nostalgic.
I'm telling you, I used to, during the Real Animal shows years ago, we used to interview the captains we were filming with, and one of the questions were, if you could only fish one place for the rest of your life, where would it be and why? And some guys would pick their home waters. Some guys would pick, Louisiana, Costa Rica, whatever. And finally, a dude flipped it on me, and I didn't even blink. I mean, for me, it's Boca Grande.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's tarpon season in Boca Grande. It's hard not to be down there, but with everything I have going on, it just, and with Georgia was playing basketball, it just didn't make sense anymore. We have tarpon here. Financially, I don't think it's such a great moneymaker by the time you rent a condo and get a boat slip, and then all the nonsense that was going on with all the haters and the Save the Tarpon, BS and all that craziness. It just, they kind of wrecked it for me. but it's such a special place, and you know, because of social media now, you get to see the bite and talk to the boys. You know, Jason Lineberger and Jamie Goodwin and you know Mike Manning and so many guys still run down there that I used to. You know, Jeff Hageman, me and Hageman and Goodwin. You know, we had the condo together probably for close to 10 years that we all roomed together down there. So you're fishing hard every day, and then when you're not fishing because of weather, you're drinking beers with your boys, and it was just a big family. You know what I mean? It's kind of where I cut my teeth too. You know, I was down there when I first started.
Sounds like college. Rooming with your buddies, drinking beer when the weather's bad, and fishing every day.
Right, exactly.
Sounds like college.
Yeah, Dylan's trip to college, we call it. Yeah, but it's just a special place. So yeah, it always warms my heart. And I was being truthful. Whenever I go past Boca Grande Pass, whenever I see the lighthouse, it touches me in a cool place, because it's just a beautiful. It's just a great environment down there. It really is. It's super cool, and there's nothing like it, dudes. May in Boca Grande Pass, when those fish are chewing, it is unbelievable. Fish flying everywhere, dude. Boats everywhere. I mean, it's just awesome. Epic. You know?
Nice.
Yeah. Good stuff. So that was a great call. Enjoyed that big time. We got to take another minute here, pay some bills. We'll be back on the other side, wrapping things up here on the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show.
So I'm apparently Captain Fluffy, but this guy just got really soft on us guys. I think he's teared up.
I got a little emotional.
I think he's teared up.
I got a little emotional. I'm a little emotional.
It is beautiful though. We did it on Christmas on the Mr. Hub, our 55-foot Hatteras. We cruised down to Boca Grande, and just south of Boca Grande, and we're sleeping on the boat. It was so cool. And that was my favorite night of the trip. Was we spent like 2 or 3 nights in Boca Grande, anchored up right there on that northeast corner of Cape Costa, and we had a little dinghy, so I was taking that boat around at night and snook fishing and tarpon fishing. It was so much fun. It was a beautiful area.
Yeah, I just got a text from a guy that lives in Murphy, North Carolina. He said, "Hey man, I'm tuned into the show." He's from Tampa but moved to North Carolina like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And listens to your guys' show all the time. Like, I didn't plug the show or nothing. He's tuned in. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Small world, man.
This show has been on the air
forever.
When I got it, Captain Mel had been doing it for 22 years.
And you've been doing it for 13.
And I've been doing it for 13 or 14 years. So this show's been on the air talking now.
35 years.
We were 3 hours, and then they boogered that shit up and dropped us back to 2. But
ask him how he really feels.
They boogered that shit up. So stupid. We're gonna sell our weekend programming to people who can't do radio. This should be great. But yeah, so we get a lot of that. When they first took my 3rd hour away, dude, my phone rang for a month and a half straight from all over the country. People in Ohio. Because what happens is they come down here, the snowbirds, they come down here for part of the year. They get to listen to the show, then they like it, then they go home and they just tune in anyway. It's kind of cool.
Okay, because I got some friends in North Georgia that have heard your show, and I'm like, man, such a small world or what? They're like, well, we see you guys have podcasts too, right?
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
That is crazy.
You're like, yeah, I know Captain Mike Anderson. He's at WFLA when you get down there. I'm like, what the hell? So yeah, it's pretty neat.
You got to tell those friends to get out more.
Hey, I think they listen though while they're going fishing though.
That's cool. That's even better. That's even better.
He must have lived down here one day. He's thinking like Jacksonville though.
not
the wrong
Ville.
Side of Florida.
Not the Ville. That's funny.
Jacksonville is crazy. How much expansiveness that city has. It's huge. It takes you like an hour and a half to drive across the city.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, we're the most densely populated. They're the largest.
By Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
Welcome back. Wrapping things up here this morning. Weather is kind of the key here for the next couple of days, right?
Weather. Yep. We're getting a pretty decent front here tonight into tomorrow. All that rain this morning was prefrontal activity. Super fun. So it's going to be breezy.
Super fun.
Yeah, going to be breezy here through the day today and into tomorrow. And then, unfortunately, right behind that comes a little bit of a high-pressure system, so it'll kind of switch more out of the east and continue to be breezy, actually pick up a little bit there Tuesday, Wednesday, before it finally starts to relax later this work week. Definitely want to start marking your calendars, thinking about trying to fish there end of this work week through the weekend, because we're coming up on that full moon. So a week from tomorrow is a full moon, and right now there is no wind, no waves in the forecast, the 13th and beyond. So looks like a gorgeous weekend on the books for next weekend. And besides just tarpon, there's
tarpon fishing.
There's a lot of good fishing near shore and offshore right now. Near shore, like 70 to 100 foot. We're doing really well on lanes, mangroves, couple nice keeper red grouper. Still a lot of kingfish around. Offshore right now, we're doing real well on red grouper, the solid mangrove snapper bite. Yellowtails are picking up, porgies, vermilions, and we're seeing those scamp, and still plenty of kingfish out there. But the big news offshore right now are blackfin tuna and wahoo. So if you want to catch a real fish, no, I'm just kidding. No, wahoo are definitely picking up. We caught a wahoo on a slow pitch jig the other day.
Oh, wow.
Our friend Joe Vito was dropping down a slow pitch jig on a spot on the 12-hour extreme, and on the drop got smoked by the wahoo as the jig was dropping down. And
is Joe Vito a wise guy?
No, he's very funny. I enjoy fishing.
That seems like a wise guy name, doesn't it? Hey, you remember old Joe Vito?
No, just a really fishy dude.
The Pittsburgh Vitos?
I think he's over in Canaveral area.
Don't look at him. Don't look at him. Don't side-eye that guy.
You are all sorts of off kilter.
I am a mess this morning.
He's thinking about the taco fest.
You know what I'm thinking about? Tarpon.
I've
got tarpon chips later in the week, and we got good weather. I'm all excited. Yes.
Tarpon.
Bobby Woodard got me all nostalgic. And
it's crazy how many sharks are around right now.
Well,
there's 2 or 3 kids that have been fishing John's Pass Bridge, and they're catching like 10, 15, 20 sharks a night.
That's what happens.
Decent sized ones.
That's what happens when the tarpon come. The sharks come.
Well, I think
part of it. Mackerel, kingfish. You always have sharks.
I don't agree.
You don't?
No. I mean, in the winter time, we have bigger sharks here. The great whites are more common. The makos are more common. We see a lot of those big offshore, cooler water sharks. Yeah, I mean, that's where I fish.
I know. Well, I'm talking about inshore where the people swim.
And then in the summertime, when the water starts to warm, a lot of those sharks, even the big ones, still are around, but they start coming in the bay to pup. So the mothers swim into the bay to give birth to their live baby sharks.
Listen. Is it always about breeding with you? Okay, couldn't it be about the food?
No, it has nothing to do with food. It's breeding
What do you mean?
patterns. That's what drives animals.
Listen.
Dude, every animal in the entire world is driven by the need to proliferate the species. That's what these fish are thinking about. Food is a byproduct to get you to that spot.
They're not following the tarpon for breeding purposes. They're following the tarpon to eat them.
Yeah, they're following. You're talking specifically about giant hammerheads.
And bull sharks.
Yeah, bull sharks too.
The bull shark action is heavy. You have a better chance.
Bull sharks just encounter their tarpon. They're like, hey, this looks like a good snack. Greater hammerheads will follow tarpon. Bull sharks are just everywhere. So they're a big bull shark in Tampa Bay.
But they certainly seem to thicken up. When the tarpon show up in Boca Grande Pass thick, you always have a week and a half of brutal bull shark action. And then the bull sharks leave.
Because the bull sharks are in Boca Grande spawning. The big female sharks go into Boca Grande, in Tampa. When the water starts to warm, beginning of summer, all the big females come in, give birth to the live young, and then they exit, and the big males hang on the beaches and wait for all those baby sharks to leave and eat them. It's a shark eat shark world. Literally, a mother shark will give birth to the live young and turn around and start eating the babies. And then what babies escape into the estuary get bigger, and a month or two later they leave the estuary, and the big males are hanging on the beach waiting to eat those. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, shark eat shark world.
Chris Mathis, great job again.
Hey, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Glad to be here.
I might put in a word that if we get stuck with you, that'd be okay.
Okay. All right. Sounds great.
Yeah,
sounds great.
That would work for us. Okay. You do a good job.
He's like, please don't do that.
Yeah, please. Yeah. My Saturday mornings are wrecked. Thank you, Captain Mike. Forever be a jerk in my book. Good stuff. Well, it's good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you, too. I missed you.
Yeah, I missed you, too. I hope you guys enjoyed tuning in there to the live feeds. Dylan does a great job getting that set up for us. Hope everybody has a great week. Be safe out there again.
The program was paid for by Real Animals Fishing.
Not yet. We're not paid for yet. Okay, now we got to get paid for it because we're up against the clock.
And don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy.
Too darn busy. Tight lines, everybody. We're out.
WFLA Tampa, WXTB HD2 Clearwater, W265CT Bayonet Point, W233AV Gulfport. Available everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app. Number 1 for music, radio, podcasts, all in one. News Radio WFLA.
Shot. We went off air for 10 seconds. It was on me. We figured it out, though. But
it's all good. It's all good, bro.
That is hilarious. Though. Yeah, you're doing a great job.
That was funny. Oh, good God, that's funny. Well, appreciate you all tuning in and hanging out with us, as always. Thank you. And hopefully we'll see you soon out there on the water. And go get your tarpon. Apparently there's tarpon bites going on. I don't know if you've heard that during the show, but yeah. And Boca Grande's pretty cool. We talked about the redfish of cobia. We covered everything we needed to cover.
We did.
Yeah, we got through it.
Wonder Twin Powers, activate.
There you go.
stuff.
Appreciate y'all tuning in. Don't forget tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Yeah,
yes.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, best of.
Yes, best of. All right.
Yeah, check that out.
Tomorrow night, there is a live show, 8:30 p.m. on the Hubbard's Marina and Real Animals Facebook page. Make sure you tune in for that. 8:30 p.m. tomorrow night, the Hubbard's Marina live stream show. Maybe getting Capt Mike, but it is Mother's Day night, so
you might be able to. I got to get up pretty early. I'm pretty scattered this week. I got to travel some. Got a little bit going on.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Homosassa. I'm going to do a shore.
You're home away from a home.
Supposed to do a shore lunch show with Captain William Toney up there. We're going to catch some fish and do a shore lunch.
Shore lunch, like hook and cook kind of thing?
Yeah,
like on a grill, or are you doing like shoreline fire? You should do a show on that.
I don't know. Well, I'm not sure. William Toney does these shore lunches. It's a trip where you go out, catch your fish, and then hook it and cook it right there on the shore. I don't know.
Oh, and that's like part of his trip?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
So that's what we're doing. We're going to do one of these trips. William Toney's a very
It's right up Mike's alley.
Fish and food. By the time it gets to noon, I'm hungry for sure, so we might as well eat. So I'm looking forward to it. It's a Discover Crystal River show that they kind of helped me put together, and I'm looking forward to nice. William Toney. I filmed with William before. He's a phenomenal guide out of Homosassa. Been doing it for years, so I'm looking forward to that part. But just to do the shore lunch, I've heard of the shore lunches. I know Captain Rick Seward, the late great Captain Rick Seward, used to do some shore lunch stuff too back in the day, and I've just never done it. So it's kind of an old school, old Florida way to do things, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So that's what we're doing.
That's awesome. Yeah, we should do a show like that, or just for fun, where you go. That was one of my favorite things growing up. Is we used to camp on that little island in Johns Pass, and we'd go fishing and bring our fish back to the island, and then fillet them up and cook them over an open fire. That's good. That's good eats.
Good. Yeah, I get it. That's I know it's going to be hard for you guys to understand. The correlation for us between food and fishing. That's weird.
Super hard.
I don't know. Do those two things go together? Yeah. So that's what we're doing this week. So hopefully the weather will let us do that. The wind keeps getting a little worse and a little worse. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can get it in.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We'll see you again next week for another episode.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day
to the moms out there. My mom, everybody's mom.
Amen to
Mother's
that.
Day. Yeah.
See you guys. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you next week.
Nice job, D.